Um, there's no need for that anymore because AI can build a website for you. And there's no need for anybody to do any of that shit anymore. I actually had somebody reach out to me. It's a family member who I haven't talked to in years, and they reached out to me last night, and I haven't answered them yet. But they were like, "Hey, what are you going to charge? What do you charge to build a website?" Because they asked me 8 or 10 years ago if I could build them a website, and I gave them a quote, and they were like, "That's too expensive," and I went, "Not my problem." Um, and they reached out, and I haven't answered them yet, but my answer is going to be, I don't. You don't need me to do that. You could get AI to do it for you. And if you don't want to use AI to do it, then you need to just pay someone like $5,000 because website developers still do exist, but it still costs money. It's like how does that work? Because I've got a quest. I've got a bounty. I see. Buckshot Bill. Where was he at? Oh, I dinged. I dinged and I didn't even know it. Oh, we're taking Grim Visage, baby. I should say. Gotta find Buckshot Bill. Use the earrings you found, but I have to have the ex-convict background and more earrings. That's the second of those that I've found, which is related to the combo. Oh, hang on, I gotta go. I'll be right back. All right. I heard Chris getting up, so I had to go say good morning and update her on all the cats and everything else. Okay. Don't see anybody at the... Oh, yeah, I do. They heard it, but they didn't see it. Oh, that's all of them now. Oh, hello.
Give the order, and I'll take care of him, Commander.
Engaging hostile life forms.
This is our target. Got him. I'll give you another example of on the conversation we were having earlier about a good example of like a place where AI is totally acceptable is like you know in like Cyberpunk 2077. What the hell? That's like a rocket. Like Cyberpunk 2077. Oh, that's Cyberpunk 2077 also Fallout 4, I think, Starfield, any game that has like a Radiant quest system where it has like a terminal or something that spits out like they have a pre-generated set of conditions and then it randomizes those conditions to create Radiant quests, which are these repeatable quests that never end. Like you can always get more quests in the Radiant system. They're just repeatable fetch quests, right? That's a great like AI. That's a version of AI that's already been implemented, even though it's not technically AI, because what that's doing is it's got predetermined conditions that it's using, and it's just spawning out of those, you know, 20 conditions or whatever. But by using true AI, you can create even more conditions and even more complex excuse me, radiant quests. I think that's a perfect example of when AI can be used to create really cool, like I would happily, if you could create really good, radiant quests in like Cyberpunk, Starfield and stuff, that gives people more reasons to play, more time in game. Nothing wrong with that. But you're taking work away from writers. No, you're not, because guess what? You still need someone to oversee the creation of that content and make sure that the AI is doing its job right. So it's just you're reducing the amount of people who are required to work on something. And there's nothing wrong with that. We're just refining the process. I said this in a different video. Like if you're a writer and you want to remain relevant as a writer in 2026 moving forward, you need to learn how to use AI. Because ChatGPT is going to do a lot of the shit that used to require 10 different writers to do. Good example is what Gray is doing right now, using ChatGPT to help with the world building of his novel. Let's expound that out a little bit more, and let's say that I am writing a TV show for a network. And previously, I would need a team of writers, 20 people in a room sitting down brainstorming ideas to come up with episodes for our sitcom, right? Now, one person who knows how to use ChatGPT can sit down and use ChatGPT to come up with the ideas that you would previously need 20 different people sitting around a table to come up with. That is not eliminating jobs, that is refining the process and making it better and easier and faster to do something. If I don't need 20 people to do something that and one person can do, that's smart business. Like, so if I'm the showrunner, great. I'm going to find the person who figured out how to adapt. It's no different than the people back in the day who used to manually write scrolls and they manually wrote things. The printing press came along. All of those people who manually wrote things were out of business because of the printing press. Oh no, the printing press is this horrible machine. It's stealing jobs. It's taking away. It's ruining the economy. Are you fucking kidding me? The evolution of the species, and you guys are fighting against it? That's the printing press. The printing press is AI. And my power just went out. I'm on battery right now. We're going to see if it comes back really quick. If it doesn't, we'll need to wrap the stream right here because the power just went out in the house. But I have all my modems and stuff plugged in, so. Well, considering the power just went out, guys, I do need to wrap up here, and because it didn't come back right away, so it may be out for a few. Oh, no, it's back. We're good. I think we're good. I'm going to double check my. Yeah, I think we're good. Yeah, I know. But I have all my stuff plugged in. Boom. I'm glad I bought that UPS device. That right there, by the way, guys, I didn't buy a UPS device until like a couple months back, and I'm so glad I have it now, because now it's like, oh, power went out, wait 90 seconds. If it doesn't come back, shut everything down, go on about my day. Or if it comes back, we're good to go, and I just keep streaming. Unless, of course, the internet went out downtown. Like if the whole town lost power, then the whole stream just probably got shut down. But I think we're still good to go. You'll tell me in a minute, because if the internet went down, I won't know for a couple more moments. If the internet went down downtown. Anyway, yeah, go back to chiseling in stone. Where do I turn in the bounties? Over here. All right, let's see here. Get back to this. Maybe. Thanks for joining as a channel member, Flying Turtle. Appreciate it over on YouTube. Anyway, I get interrupted on my rant. But you get it. You get what I'm talking about. You get what I'm laying down. Like, people ranting about the printing press 250 years ago, whenever it was, are the same people ranting about AI right now. Yeah, the New World situation is shitty, but it's more shitty for the developers than it is for us as players. And I mean, everybody will eventually find jobs. That's every industry suffers layoffs. It's not unique to the game industry. We're not gonna do that quest right now. We're gonna go do something else. I have a faction quest that I can go do. Correct. Me not being able to play the game is not the same thing as someone losing their job. Exactly that.
A short-range transmission just came in from Zeb. Sounded urgent. He's
Zeb?
requesting we meet him at the tomb of the Matriarch, here on Praetor. It's where the Matriarch and First Sovereign are buried, supposedly. Zeb left out the mission parameters, probably worried his message might be intercepted. Not unfounded, given the Protectorate presence on Praetor. He did say he'd reach out to us again if he needed help. Reckon we should take it as a compliment. Zeb doesn't trust easy. Anyway, I'd really like to go, if there's time.
There's absolutely time for companion quests.
Much obliged. The sooner...
The structure in the distance matches the description of the interstitial reconfiguration center. The rift modulator should lie within.
Well,
Protectorate control of Praetor has largely been achieved through the maintenance of a blockade. A survey of Praetor indicates there may be an alternate route past the blockade via the Automech factory.
well, let's just see if we can get to anything reasonably close. For these side quests. Break the strike. That's my companion quest. Yeah, so we need to get north. If I can, my goodness. It's a good tool in the right hands, correct. And it is all about, you know, we control the parameters. And if you're going to be, if you as a worker want to be someone who remains relevant in the modern era, you have to learn how to utilize AI. You have to learn how to use AI. Because if you don't, you're going to get left behind. And it's like the people who refused to adapt to the printing press. If you're not going to adapt to the printing press, then you're going to get left behind because your scroll writing days are over.
Wait, on your command.
Oh, the robots want to kill us all the way from down here.
Providing AI. Fortifying team.
Oh, where'd you run off to, bitch? Don't let me shoot your weak points. Yeet it and delete it.
Mind the needle.
Knew you had my back.
Is there like an elevator to get down off of this thing? Oh, you gotta be shitting me. I literally died from a like 3 meter drop. Come on, that was like 10 feet. Little excessive on the fall damage there. Alright, let's figure out how I'm supposed to actually get down from here. There must be elevators or something. That's literally nothing.
Love to, but I'm not ready.
Oh shit, we got a whole bunch. Oh my goodness, they're coming from everywhere. Oh, I'm out of ammo. That's not good. Oh, I see scrap. There's pools of something they're spawning.
Commander. I could help you whip something.
Your reckless demeanor makes you an easy target for vendors. Pass.
Whip something up.
I don't pray and spray. What are you talking about? I'm out of ammo for the plasma rifle, though. Which means we should switch over to... Let's do the plasma pistol. Haven't used it a lot. Should have some ammo for it. God, there's no more landmines here. Get the big boss down. Where'd it go? There it is. Alright, big boss.
Guns cocked and loaded. Just get the signal. Knew you had my back.
Alright. Salamandretta. I don't know. I always look at myself, by the way, as like the perfect poster child of someone who I could have remained in the previous industry and I would probably, I would, yeah, it wouldn't have been good. Like I made a conscious decision to evolve because I only knew, I grew up on a farm. Um, I grew up on a dairy farm and I worked construction. I never finished high school. I never went to college. The only thing I knew how to do, because I grew up in the pre-internet era, was work for my family. So I worked with my dad and my uncles, and I hated every minute of it. And when 9/11 happened, the economy in the U.S. went absolutely, the housing market just died. So I went from making like $100,000 a year plus having two employees all through my 20s to there being no work. I went from $100,000 a year and two employees to no work, making barely made $32,000 in 2007. So my income dropped by 70% and I had to fire my two employees. There was no work. Literally no work. I went from 100,000 to 30,000. So I lost 70% of my income in 1 year. Couldn't afford to pay my employees anymore, so I had to fire my employees. And I was sitting there, it was the like November, and I had a contract that I had signed a letter of intent on that was going to start in like March when the snow was gone. We were supposed to start. And then I found out the day I was supposed to go sign the final paperwork, I found out that the owners had behind my back went and signed a contract with a different company who was willing to do the job for $30,000 less than what I was going to charge. Um, so I said I was going to charge $70,000 for the job. A company came in and said, well, we'll do it for $40,000 and we'll do it in half the time because they were a crew of illegal immigrants working and whatever. It doesn't matter. So I saw that and I lost that contract. I was like, if I take this to court to fight it, because I had a signed letter of intent, I was like, if I take this to court and fight it, I'm going to spend a minimum of $10,000 in legal fees, minimum. And then I'm going to have to spend the next 2 years in court trying to get these people to pay me the $70,000 that they owe me. And it's going to cost me a lot more than 10,000. It's probably going to cost me more like $20,000 to fight this in court. Meanwhile, I'm not going to be able to do any work because I'm going to be stuck in court the whole time. Is it worth it? And I said it's not worth it. So what did I do? I sold my tools. I sold my truck. My girlfriend at the time was from Bulgaria. She had an apartment in Bulgaria, and I said, let's just leave. And so we went back to her home country, and I literally grabbed a laptop and I said, I'm going to finally take my shot at being a writer because the internet is now widely available. And I sat down and wrote a short story while we were on a ski trip. The whole family was skiing, and I just sat in the hotel room and wrote a short story, sent it to a publication. The first publication I sent it to bought it, and I said, fuck yeah, this is what I've always wanted to do. And I just took that opportunity and I ran with it. And I established myself as a writer with the power of the internet. And Had I continued to stay in the U.S. and like try to figure out how to work in the construction industry and like make it work, trying to deal with you evolve or you die, is what it comes down to. And I've always chosen to evolve, which is why since 2007, I taught myself in 2008. I had to learn how to code. I had to learn how to build WordPress websites. I had to learn how to navigate social media. I had to learn how to do all that stuff. Then I had to learn how to do social media. So that became learning how to do video editing. That became learning how to use Photoshop. That became getting a DSLR camera and learning how to use Lightroom and do photo editing. That became getting a drone and learning how to do drone photography and drone videography and learning how to use all of those tools and finding clients through word of mouth by doing good projects on other things, but continually evolving, getting into game development and learning how to use Unity, and then learning how to use Unreal, and learning how to do VFX, and teaching myself how to do VFX in a video game, learning how to do programming and engineering, learning how to use blueprints in Unreal. Um, these days, the when I started off using video editing software, I was using Sony Vegas. I don't even remember what version I started on. Um, but I switched to Filmora maybe 3 years ago because it was way easier and it's drag and drop. So now I use a completely different tool than what I was using 3 or 4 years ago. If you're going to be a productive member of society for as long as you possibly can, you must evolve with the times or you will just not eat. And I like to eat. I've got a belly on me. I like good food. I like having air conditioning. I like having high speed internet. I like having an Xbox and a PlayStation and multiple monitors. And I like my creature comforts. So it's like, do I want to eat? Yes. Do I want to survive? Not just survive, do I want to thrive? Yes. So what did I do? I fucking learned how to evolve. And AI is just the next evolution of that, like embracing AI and Canva and etc. No, I have never been afraid of evolving, not once. But I've also always been self-employed. I have There have been two times in my life that I have worked for someone else as an employee. Once was when I was 16 years old. I worked for my very first ever job for someone else was working at McDonald's. Walmart was the first. Walmart, and then I was there for maybe 2, 3 months. That didn't work out. I went and worked Wendy's and McDonald's. I worked as a cashier at McDonald's in the drive-through, and I worked as a burger flipper at Wendy's. And those jobs were summer jobs when I was like 16 years old or so. Other than that, um, about 5 years ago, there was a brief period I'd been working for a startup company. I started off as their consultant. Then they brought me in to actually manage their social media, and then a year later they brought me on as an actual salaried employee for a year-long period of time. That was about 5 years ago. And then when they got bought out by investors, the investors wanted to go find somebody else. They wanted somebody female and of color to be the marketing head, not a old white dude. And so I got the boot, and when I got the boot from the startup, I said, fuck all this, I'm going to go do my own shit, and I started my YouTube channel, and the rest is history. And I've been full-time on this for almost 4 years now. But other than those two, like the summer of like 1996 into 1997, when I was that I worked then for someone else, and then a few years ago having a salary for 1 year. Apart from that, I've always been freelance. I have always been freelance. I may have told this story at one point, but like when I was working construction, do you know how I got work? I would print up 3,000 business cards. I would go to the phone book back when phone books were a thing before the internet, and I would open up the phone book and I would look for carpet shops, and I would call every single carpet shop. Hi, my name is, I do this. I know you guys probably have your own crew, but if you ever have need of someone to do some extra work on the weekend, I am available. And you call them every week. Hey, this is Tim again. Just checking in. You got any extra work? 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 That's step one. Step two. Every Saturday and Sunday when I wasn't working, or any day that I wasn't working, I'm in my truck driving up and down the Front Range of Colorado, up and down the mountains, and I'm looking along the interstate for construction sites. I see a construction site, I drive to the construction site. I walk up to the job trailer, I tap on the door. Hi, is this the general contractor's office? Hi, my name is Tim. Here's my business cards. If you ever need somebody to pick up slack or you've got some extra jobs on the weekend, happy to help. Call that person back every single week. Sunday rolls around. Nobody's on the job site. No problem. Take a hammer tacker, take my business cards, walk around the job sites, hammer tack my business cards up on all of the framing of the buildings so that when people get to work on Monday morning, there's a business card tacked. One of the 100 business cards that I've handed out is going to be someone go, oh, this guy does ceramic tile and natural stone and flooring. I need a guy to do flooring at my sister's house this weekend. Let me give him a call. You hustle. You go look for work. When Chris and I were establishing ourselves in Cancun with the travel brand, we printed up 3,000 business cards. We got on our bicycles and we rode around town for a month, and we handed out business cards to every restaurant, tour agency, hotel, anybody who would talk to us. We would offer photography services, videography services. And then my assistant, who lived with us at the time, he and I went on a follow-up the next month, and we called every single one of those businesses back. And we, out of 3,000 businesses, we ended up landing enough work for the next 3 years. So we worked really hard for 2 months, drummed up enough business for 3 years of clients, and that also established my public speaking career. Because once I started doing that, I got invited to do a course at a hotel to teach this hotel chain how to do social media. That got me invited to do an event for a group of hotels who were wanting to learn how to do social media. That got me in the local newspaper, which then invited me to do a presentation for the city on social media and networking, which got me in front page in the newspaper in Cancun. And then that got me into the next international travel conference that did an event in Cancun. And that got me onto the international field doing travel conferences all around the world with Chris as a public speaker on travel and marketing. And so, no, I have never been afraid of evolving. If you want to eat, you fucking embrace it. Like, that's just, it's what it is. I am flexing now, yeah. Some of you have heard the story before. I'll shut up before somebody calls me pirate software for bragging about my time at Blizzard. All you ever do is brag about your fucking life, man.
Engaging hostile lifelines.
Excuse me. Oh, we got a rocket launcher from somewhere. I'm assuming this dude up here. How's the game going? It's miserable. I hate it. I'm on my like 10th stream because I can't stand the game. It's the most horrible thing I've ever played. I'm miserable. I stream these games because I hate them. I don't stream them because I love them. I don't stream video games because I love my job. I stream video games because I hate all video games. That's why I stream them. Yep. You can go watch my review on YouTube for this game, and you'll hear me talk about it. But don't pay that in mind. I'm live because I hate it, and I'm miserable doing this. This is going the opposite direction of where I need to go. I play games that you don't have to. That's exactly right. Matter of fact, doesn't that one guy do a series like I played so that you don't have to? not die very quickly into that.
They did me in. Help me out.
Shit. He is down. That's not good. Which one is shooting me? You're gonna get me, aren't you?
Hostilities.
Can't believe I survived
Knew you
that.
had my back.
Enthusiastically neutralizing unfriendlies.
Enthusiastically neutralizing unfriendlies.
Sorry. Get ready.
Shit.
Please try again later.
Fucker, get back here. Alright, he died. The playthrough of the playthrough of 76. It isn't. I'm gonna make a comment really quick. Carson says, "Was the playthrough of 76 coming soon or already happened? I can never tell when I see shorts on mobile whether it's new or old." Sure, you can. Shorts have a date attached to them, whether it's on YouTube, Instagram, or TikTok. So yes, you can tell when shorts are published. All you got to do is do some due diligence, and you can tell when something has been published. The longer answer is that it's coming soon. It's, as I mentioned, starting in November. We're not in November yet. So you failed on 2 due diligence checks, sir. Your observation skills suck, Carson. Try harder. Do better. But yes, the answer to that is it's coming soon in November. But I'm sorry. I got to call out stuff like that because I don't let people be stupid on my stream. Don't be stupid. Of course you can tell when something's been published. It has a date attached to it. Jesus. Not only that, but it's linked to the video. It's linked to the long form video. No! You go back to school, sir. Go back to school. Do better. How the fuck did you graduate? Sorry, not sorry. I'm being exaggerative for the sake of entertainment, but also, come on.
Dodge and protect your codes. You remember that?
Error. Memory not found.
You're gonna make me open it up and show you the timestamp, aren't
It's
you?
all right, Val. I'll just have to do the remembering for both of us.
Ah! That's right, Gray. I play games that suck so that I take the pain for you. I'm like the Jesus Christ of gaming. Jesus Christ pose.
Once you reach the vault, all be yours to trust.
Be here by any doubt.
Your arrival could not be more timely. After the events of Paradise Island, I could think of no one more suited to conduct a surgical strike of this nature. I'm, glad to see you again as well, Niles.
Gotta say you had me worried. The message you sent sounded serious.
Then I composed it accurately. To the task at hand. We are standing before the tomb of the matriarch. Few are invited to tour its halls, and even fewer know of its greatest secret.
Well, don't keep me in suspense.
For any subject, visiting the matriarch and first sovereign's resting place is the pinnacle of empty social achievement. But the tomb's corpses are the least important feature. The intelligence my friends risked all to acquire.
You got to be able
reveal
to
the vault
dish
in
it
its
out.
lowest level containing the matriarch's body of work, hidden from
You
the
gotta be able to
public.
dish it out and
Who
take it,
knows what
Carson.
technologies the Protectorate is withholding? If the
You're
matriarch
right. You
was the
should have
genius
made me
she's
more of a
purported to be,
priority.
the
You're
skip
damn
drive cannot be
straight.
the entirety
I
of her
should be your
inventions.
priority. I have 3 degrees. I've been busy moving countries and only glanced at the title. It's all good. But I gotta, if you can't tame some good-natured ribbon, man. I give my brother way more shit than you just got right now. You gotta be able to chuckle and be like, right? You know what? He's right. I should have looked. God damn it. He's right. Shake it off, sir. Shake it off. That's right. It's all Ren all the time, 24 hours a day.
Whatever technological advancements may be sequestered here, the goal is almost certainly to keep the populace of Arcadia subservient to the pernicious whims of its governing body. But not for much longer. We are going to liberate any and all of the Matriarch's research, whatever it may be, and distribute it to the people.
Speaking of which, I have not gone and said good morning to my grandniece yet, and she's been up for about 15 minutes. You guys got me sidetracked. I gotta go say hi to her. Since we're talking on daughters, I'll be right back.